Today's episode is brought to you by Mood. Mood was created in 2002 as an online source for 100% federally legal cannabis grown on small, pesticide-free American farms.
So we're going to tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges. From sleepless nights to stress-filled days, Mood.com has created an entire line of not just gummies, but functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep.
What makes these gummies different is how they've actually paired the THC and other cannabinoids with herbs and adaptogens. So you're really not going to find gummies like this in dispensary or truly anywhere for this matter. The one that is by far the most intriguing to me, which I think it'll be for Melissa, is the PMS one.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. I have cramps. I have like discomfort where like my head is hurting. I also have, my mood is all over the place when I'm PMSing. So this is there to help for the difficult times in your difficult cycles. And I am so excited to try the PMS Support THC gummies. And you can get 20% off your first order at mood.com with promo code BLAME.
And they literally have gummies for truly everything. Immune support, menopause relief, PMS symptoms, mental clarity, schmexual arousal. And each one is crafted
schmexual?
Yeah, schmexual.
What's schmexual? Why are you whispering? We're adults here.
We are adults here. If you're an adult, enjoy your weed and your sex. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as we mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code BLAME.
So head to mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with. And remember to use code BLAME at checkout to save 20% on your first order.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. Let's get real close to hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Maximized. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
So it's Tuesday.
It is.
And just like we promised everyone last week, we would see you next Tuesday.
It's the following Tuesday, so look at us. And if you're like, I'm actually not seeing you, I'm just hearing you. Have you ever heard of Spotify?
I've heard of it.
You have?
Yeah.
Guess what? We're there.
Oh my gosh.
You can listen to us, and for our Tuesday and Friday episodes, which you don't usually get the video, Spotify is where you go. And you can
see us. You can see how my neck of my shirt is falling because I keep it over my nose throughout the day. So
I deeply understand that sensory cozy little feeling.
And I forget. And then I'll be like on FaceTime with somebody and they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, just let me be.
Melissa, the longer that we have been friends, the more I have started to like unmask, and I will do things unintentionally because I'm just like comfortable and normal. And I have to be like, Oh, Megan, you are still recording the podcast. Like, you need to stop doing those things. But you're like, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was relaxed. I let my hair down.
No.
What can I say?
It's up today.
It is. It was supposed to be down, but then I got a little toasty because I forgot to take my beta blocker until just now, but I took it. So
here we go.
Good things will be happening. So we are going to read the results for last week's episode, which is episode 148.
A new highlight.
I know. I started putting it in the old highlight, and then I was like, oh no, Melissa wanted this in a new highlight. And she was
right.
It
was a lot of clicking last week.
Yeah. So, welcome. And I was up first, and Megan says, men, don't be creepy. 1% said I was wrong. 99% said I was not wrong. I did include the white van for, for the effect, so you could really get the vibe.
Yeah, it's a great visualization.
It is. I had a friend in high school and when I say a friend in high school, I mean, like, we quite literally been friends since we were 4 years old. Our entire lives. But her mom was both of her parents were, like, landscape
I was going to say, what, a florist or something? Because they love a white van, too.
And so, and it didn't have a logo on it because they were, the mom was freelance. And when she learned to drive and when she was like later getting her license like me because she was on the younger side, she did drive around in the white van. And of course, there's only 2 seats. And then the back, just open. And then we would stuff in there, very dangerous. And it smelled like manure all the time. And so she would drive a white unmarked van to school sometimes.
On the show, Why Women Kill.
Oh, Leo Howard.
Leo was in the back of one of these vans.
Oh.
Fucking.
Oh. Ew. Yuck.
Lucy Liu.
Happy for him. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I will never watch that show. Love him to death. Can't stand to see that.
It wasn't graphic.
Yeah, but like just even the idea of it. It's like your brother fucking.
It's a really good show.
I believe you. I wholeheartedly believe you.
Mark Cherry, baby.
And I love a toxic little Mark Cherry show.
Mm-hmm. But this one actually had a lot of heart to it.
Oh. I do think Desperate Housewives did once you got a little farther.
Yeah.
But
this one, like, from the story, because it's 3 different stories being told.
Generational.
So there is, and there's a lot, especially in the one that he's in, is a lot of just like it gets you in the feels.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will watch it and then close my eyes.
There may be like 2 sex scenes with him. Okay. You just know it's happening, and they're not graphic. Okay. Just a little.
Well, yeah, it's network.
Well, it was Paramount Plus. They could have got nasty.
Was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they really could have. Okay. Well, at least now I know. Honestly, even if a woman did this, I would be freaked the fuck out. People need to learn how to be nosy the right way without getting caught. I'm all for being aware of who's in your space, but not when it comes to the point of making someone scared and uncomfortable. But yes, men especially need to be aware of how they interact with women and seem as non-threatening as they think that they are. Great point with how they think that they are.
Right.
Someone says, a fucking van? Sir, behave. Maybe they're also referencing Why Women Kill and thinking about how Leo fucked to the back of one of those vans. Maybe they mean, sir, a fucking van. Maybe they are like a Scottish fan of Why Women Kill. Maybe. And they just forgot how to spell I.
Or it was meant to be like, and they completely misspelled everything.
Or they forgot to do a white part, like a white fucking van.
Mm-hmm. There's options. Van. Yes. There's options, but we love your candor.
Yep. I like the energy. Someone else said, today a guy literally sprinted after me to catch up with me and then followed me right behind me and I was terrified. It was broad daylight. Oh, and he turned onto a different street 10 minutes later. But why the sprint? Oh, just leave me be, good sir. I think that same way when like I've like dropped my wallet before and someone's like, ma'am, and I like hear them running and I start and then they'll like stop and they go, I have you dropped your wallet. And I'll like turn around and they're like, oh, I'm like, that's so much better than like chasing after someone.
How many times have you dropped your wallet and this has happened to you? Okay.
One time. It was in the Ralph's parking lot by my old place. And it was like the parking lot, where the parking garage. And in general.
So not that Ralph's that was on the corner?
Yeah, so it has a garage.
Oh.
Underneath.
Oh. That's a big parking lot.
What are you talking about?
It's like La Brea.
The one next to the counter.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Okay. Because I was like, that one has no parking lot.
Mm-mm. I think it's across the street from a Walgreens. No. You're
What do they sell?
That doesn't matter. There's Ralph's any direction. I can go to a Ralph's in any direction and be there in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Are you thinking of Smart and Final?
No, it's a Ralph's.
Oh, okay. Because Smart and Final has a big parking lot.
No, not Smart and Final. Anyways.
Do you have Smart and Final where you live?
Probably not.
Someone else said, this would have freaked me out too, and I live in a very safe area in Seattle. Yeah, it's freaky no matter what. Like, this would freak me out in my hometown where people don't lock their doors and, like, it's, like, the crime rate is, like, insanely fucking low. Mm-hmm. It freaks me out anywhere. It doesn't make me feel, like, less safe in my neighborhood, but, like, this is how I feel every time I leave the house by myself as a woman, just in general, if I'm walking.
Yeah.
I will never, and like I give kudos to them, and I think a lot of it has to do with like what you carry with you, as well as like having a dog or whatever. But when I see people who are like, oh, I go on an hour-long walk by myself, like every day, I'm like, in a circle, like in a small contained circle, or like where you, I guess maybe LA is just not walkable. So in my mind, I'm like, where are you going? How do you do that? How do you walk for an hour straight?
I've done it as a cool down.
Around a track?
No, around my neighborhood.
But you have to loop at a certain point.
I just kind of go like in a zigzag.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. You could do that. But I remember my friend's, he was training for a marathon, and he was like, I'm gonna do a mini marathon myself, 26 miles. And I was like, bitch, where? And did he have to run under freeway overpasses multiple times? Did he have to run on places where there was no sidewalk? And he was like, yeah, because he was like, I don't want to do a loop. I want to do one way there and pick me up. And I was like, okay.
And that's exactly how they work here in LA.
Yeah. And it was like, okay, well, and he's like, I'm not going to do that again. I did think I was going to get hit by a car. And I was like, yeah, we are not advertised as a walkable city.
I saw a guy, he wasn't running a marathon, but he just wanted to see if he could do it. And he walked from WeHo to Santa Monica to the pier.
I can't stress enough to people who have never been here.
Terrifying.
And ugly. Like, you're not getting, like, as someone who has like lived in California my whole life, and like when people are like, oh my God, like let's do a road trip, whatever. I've done the road trip from one side of California like to the other with people who are not from here, and they're like, oh my God, let's do this. And I was like, okay, we can do the one that's longer, that's on the coast. But if you look at the map, when you do anything along the coast, which is like that's like the part when you think of like what California vistas are, like that's what you think of, it will be longer. So if you're trying to like get from one place to another straight shot in LA, it is not going to be what you view it as. You could instead do an entire coastline, difficult, longer, but you get a breeze and a view versus.
Yeah. Well, this guy, one was making content, so that makes it a little more fun.
A man making running content?
He's gay. Oh. And he wasn't running. He was just strolling.
Perfect. I want him gay and I want him walking slow.
And he was also like stopping along the way, like getting coffee and things. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
He looked like he had a good time, but he did Uber back.
Fuck yeah, of course you would.
By the time he got there,
dark.
It was the end of the day.
Exactly.
Is the state of the U.S. making you want to escape?
Yes. And you can take the first step and learn the language before you go. Who makes it easy, Melissa?
BAIW makes it easy.
We are so happy that we have a new sponsor. It is BAIW, and not to fangirl too hard. We begged BAIW. We said, BAIW, BAIW, we need you.
Our audience wants you and needs you and asked us, hey, who do you guys recommend for languages?
And we're happy to say it's BAIW.
Not only do sometimes I want to escape, but I also want to stay here and talk to the people here on the ground, especially in our state of California. So I want to brush up and make my Spanish stronger. I took Spanish throughout school. I took Spanish and French, but I really, really need to strengthen my Spanish. What about you? Spanish
is the language that I grew up in California. So like that is like you said, like from the time that I could talk, like the names of different streets. It was so like ingrained, handcrafted by over 200 language experts. Yeah, they are voiced by real native speakers.
Real people.
Oh, and they're built with science-backed cognitive tools like spaced repetition and interactive features to fit any learning style. I'm a big fan of BAIW games. This girl loves a game.
We both love games.
And like the sentence building stuff. So having it be in like a game format makes me feel, it doesn't make me feel like I'm learning. It doesn't make me feel like I'm being scolded in school. I'm just like learning something new, but I'm mostly playing a game.
We want you to learn another language, so we're teaming up with BAIW to give you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/don'tblameme, spelled BABBEL.com/don'tblameme.
Babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Rules and restrictions may apply. Fresh air, sunshine, and good food, that's what spring is all about. See how I didn't include spring cleaning in there?
That's not my favorite. But one of our favorites is HelloFresh. We love HelloFresh. They make it easier to fit quick, home-cooked meals into your schedule every single week by curating delicious recipes. Like they have a pasta primavera, chicken Dijon, and pecan-crusted trout. Okay, fancy. As well as over 100 seasonal snacks, sides, and treats. In 2025, they're evolving to fit every lifestyle by bringing customers even more convenience. And we love convenience here. All without compromising on taste or the homemade quality. They've got new ready-made meals, which offer chef-crafted flavorful dishes that are ready in just... drumroll please, 3 minutes. Every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, including seasonal fresh produce and proteins that travel from farm to your doorstep. Plus, the deliveries are super flexible, so you can pause or skip when you need. We have been huge fans of HelloFresh here for so long. You already know that. We love them. I have made so many delicious things. We recently had like a pork mushu lettuce wrap. Oh, when I tell you, it might be going in my personal HelloFresh Hall of Fame. Feel great with meals that fit your spring schedule and make this season even more delicious. Go to HelloFresh.com/blameme10fm to get 10 free meals with a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
If you've ever shopped online, and let's face it, who hasn't? Chances are you've bought something from a business powered by Shopify. You know that purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy? That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes things easier, and not just for shoppers. They make it easy to start and run your business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. It gives you a leg up from day dot with hundreds of beautiful ready-to-go templates to express your brand style so you can get up and running fast. You can tackle your important tasks from inventory to payments to analytics and more, all in one place. You can also spread your brand's word with built-in marketing and email tools built for you to find and keep new customers. And remember that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already know and love it. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm.
I hate when something looks delicious and then you read what it is and it's disgusting. For me.
Which one?
I know other people would enjoy it. It was like a chocolate mocha brown cupcake.
Nope.
Melissa wants you to be careful of the language you use while defending immigrants. 2% said I was wrong. 98% said I was not wrong. Someone said, as a person who works in medical writing, I could not agree more. In my profession, it's so important to be mindful of your words and how you refer to people. It's a person first, human first, always, not disease or disability or ethnicity or profession. Yeah.
Not to say that's not true, but you should always ask the specific community when it comes to disabilities. Because like there's a lot of big discourse in different disability, specifically autism, of people who prefer person first or language first language. And I've seen some like neurotypical people be like, actually, no, you should be offended.
Well, I mean, that I feel like that's
totally
typical of any type of category that you put anyone in.
Yeah.
You should always be mindful of what you use.
Well, I always compare it to something like you should never give someone a nickname that they have not told you to call themselves by. Like there's something about being like, oh, this person introduces themselves. For you, example, you introduce yourself as Melissa and someone automatically starts calling you Mel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's not, did we not just hear that? So like, I think in general, as long as you were like open, like, you know, saying how you say it the first time, whatever, but then like when someone either corrects you or you're introduced a certain way, not to be like, let me rephrase that in a different way. And it's like, to me, it's the same thing to me as calling someone by a nickname who that's not how you met them.
Yeah. Someone else said, I've been complaining about this for years. No, I don't want to hear about how immigrants are hardworking, blue-collar people who do great work for cheap. I know you framed it as immigrants inherently have value, but as an immigrant with a graduate degree who sounds like a native speaker, I am tired of people thinking I am different. No, I am an immigrant, proud to be. We are many different things and do many types of jobs because we are people just like non-immigrants are. Also super fucking, no, I added in fucking, sorry. Also super sick of other immigrants having the ridiculous mindset of I did it the right way because of sheer luck in a broken system, but that's another story. Great point.
Mm-hmm. Then we have writer number 1. Are they wrong for not taking a student's late paper? 36% of the writer was wrong. 64% said the writer was not wrong. Former teacher and professor here. I would grade what they submitted and call it a day. As Melissa pointed out, this would take them no less than 30 minutes. If they truly wanted to turn it in correctly, they would have just done it. Get on a phone, use a different device, maybe even pull random sources just to make it look right. I know that's messed up, but it is true. I love you as a former teacher and professor saying that.
Hard on former.
Yeah, so do not hold me responsible. Those excuses are hardly ever valid. Although I do remember a student once couldn't make it to class because she got a flat tire, and she sent me a picture of her with her friends trying to change the tire on the side of the road. It was a small road. They were safe. And it was pretty funny. Meghan and Melissa are right. You need proof from the student first. I would still accept the late work if it is complete, and take off points for lateness. Students are stressed out enough, and I know sometimes one paper can tank your grades or put you behind enough that catching up feels impossible. Honestly, if I was the writer, at first thought, I probably would have thought the student was bullshitting and not given the extension, but I remember how stressful college was. Also, I'm the kind of person who would freak out if something like that happened and wouldn't have thought about being able to access my bookmarks on another computer. I don't think the writer was wrong, but maybe use this as a lesson for the next time something like this happens, and give students a little more grace in the future. Like you said, accept the paper, but take points off for late submission. As a recent university graduate, my lecturers would do the same as the writer. I don't know how strict the writer's university policies are on accepting late work, but as a whole, in the UK, they tend to require at least 24 hours notice, and the extension would be subject to approval. If the work was turned in late, the work would be marked, but 20% would be reduced. 20% is low-key crazy.
Yeah.
That means, like, if it's perfect, you're getting an 8. Like, that's, I think 10%, like, for lateness. Max. And that's, like, not 24 hours late. That's, like, you found it, like, I've done that before, where it's, like, I had a missing assignment, and I found it, like, in my backpack, and I forgot to turn it in 3 months later. And then it'd be like, okay, we're going to give you 10% off, because it's right, but you lost it. It sounded like the student only mentioned the broken laptop a week after paper 1 was due, when the writer sent notice about paper 2. So the writer is deaf within their rights to be skeptical and not accept the student's quote-unquote excuse. See, I thought the excuse was for paper 2. I thought
it was for 1.
Okay. I was so torn on this one because I'm a sucker for rules and deadlines. Could not be me. But I'd choose that the writer is wrong because I think they could have given the student an extra day. The excuse just sounded so wild I believed it. LOL, am I naive? And in a day, he could have retrieved all the bookmark pages on another computer if he is telling the truth. Yeah, key part. And if he's not telling the truth, the lesson should be, like, learn how to tell a better lie.
Yeah. There was also one on Spotify that said, depending on the subject matter, not having in-text citations is plagiarism since they're not the student's own words. So I understand the professor not being able to accept any part of the paper without references. But they did have the I thought they had the in-text.
Yes,
they didn't have the citation page.
Quote, so then it looks like just plagiarism because you're quoting.
But if you're quoting with the citations in it, that's not plagiarism. Because usually it would be like you'd quote
they just didn't have, like,
and
the
then
glossary of it.
Yeah, they didn't have the reference page.
I almost said biblioteca. What is bibliography?
The writer of this did write in.
Also, maybe students should go to biblioteca.
The writer of this did write in. They said they were going to send us a timeline. They haven't sent it yet.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't realize at the time it was someone that we were familiar with. And it would have changed my perspective.
Oh, I trust implicitly.
Yeah. So now knowing who it was.
And the school.
True. Then I stand by the writer.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of being part of our Patreon group, is that we get to know you.
Yep.
And I know that this person is an ethical person.
Yes. And I know this person and I have a lot in common. So like, I know this person's, I know that they are familiar with rigorous schooling, and they are familiar with that on all sides of it. And so they would be justifiably lenient.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This person is not someone who's like, kids these days.
Yeah.
Mostly because this person is not 100 years old.
No. I don't even think they're 30 yet.
Nope. They're not.
Hey, it's Hillary Frank from The Longest Shortest Time, an award-winning podcast about parenthood and reproductive health. We talk about things like sex ed, birth control, pregnancy, bodily autonomy, and, of course, kids of all ages. But you don't have to be a parent to listen. If you like surprising, funny, poignant stories about human relationships and, periods, The Longest Shortest Time is for you. Find us in any podcast app or at longestshortesttime.com.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully, we can do movies together. Hot.
How does weather work? What's the secret to having a great conversation? How do most wealthy people get that way? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. Each episode covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and listen, we've got over 1,000 episodes, over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know, wherever you listen.
Then we've got, oh God. Megan, why would you do this?
What did I do?
The photo.
What did I do? Wait, I don't even remember what the photo was. Hold on. Oh. I had to get him in his essence.
Writer number 2. You couldn't include
bitch,
Will
by the
Smith
way,
or Mariah Carey or Renee Rapp.
No. The amount of photos of this motherfucker flipping.
Because that's all he's good for.
You can't find a photo of this man who's planted on his own 2 feet. You know what he's not? He's not grounded. He needs to take his shoes off and he needs to get grounded. He needs to touch some grass with his feet, not his fucking hands. Yeah. And not the tips of his hair.
Writer number 2. Are they wrong for being annoyed that their friend is bailing on going to a concert? 6% said the writer is wrong. 94% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said, I would be so mad if I didn't get to go see Renee Rapp. Yeah. Have you watched her interview with Ziwa yet?
I've watched almost all the clips, but I need to watch the full one.
I've seen the clips. I need to see it all in context.
They've just got such good banter. They're so funny.
Someone else said, if the girl wasn't trying to charge for the extra ticket, I would say that the writer's feelings are valid. But the girl's reasons for not wanting to go to the concert also would be valid. Her friend probably had these feelings way before she actually made the decision and could have not been an asshole and given the writer more time to prepare. Yeah. Another person said, I would be livid if I am super excited about something and the people I go with can't match the vibe or kill the vibe. It makes me unreasonably mad. But then I refuse to invite them to similar situations again, which I think is warranted. Y'all. That's it.
Okay. Then we have my nomination for Wrong of the Week. People who have parasocial relationships with dogs. 77% said they're wrong. 23% said they're not wrong. I fear we have some doggo lovers in the mix. You're allowed to love these dogs. Just stop being fucking weird.
Love and parasocial are two different things.
I know, and I think a lot of people think that's not that, and You can cry over the no bones dog dying, but like...
That dog died?
Like 2 years ago. Someone said, some people really need to get a hobby. I voted wrong. All the people shaming the foster for quote-unquote giving him away and being rude to Tiki's family are definitely wrong. Someone else, a couple of people are like, oops, my bad. Didn't mean to vote that way. Someone else said, in general, I think it's fine to be a fan of pets on social media. Like, I follow people who post their pets because it's cute. It makes me smile when it shows up on my feed. The difference is the people that you described who are just doing harassment. Yes. And she has a new foster for people to have.
For people that need to move on.
Move on. Don't move on. What's that from? Don't move on. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move on. It's from. It's Disney.
Past my prime.
This is gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me.
Finish reading.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, okay, great.
Lindsay Lohan, Sid Arthur, Don't Move On from Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. One of the best movies
that was
ever
in
fucking
my
made.
prime, but I don't remember that.
I'm addicted to that movie. She's me.
My name is Troy LaValle, and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon Podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing and we turn it into appointment television. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon Podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more. You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy?
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, humbug.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
And then we have Wrong of the Week, the loser, Riley Gaines. 97% said that she is wrong. 3% said she's not wrong.
And 100% said she's a fucking loser.
I mean, it's just a fact.
She
lost. Fact, a loser.
Yeah.
She didn't come in first, second, or third place.
No, she lost.
Someone said the way she signed up to be a lifetime loser is wild. It is. Another person said, this gives me the same vibe as whoever that bitch that lost to Coco when she tried to say that the only reason Coco won is because she was tired. Yep. People really don't want to accept that they're not as good as they think they are. You may be in the Olympics, but you're not the best of the best, ho.
She wasn't even in the Olympics.
No, this was a college.
Yeah.
Thing.
And what college was it?
I don't even know. Somebody else said, imagine doing all this because you tied for 5th place. You're literally just reminding the world that you suck over and over again.
Oh my God. University of Kentucky. This isn't even Stanford swim. Like.
Another person said, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Fuck Riley Gaines. Bro, I can't imagine being such a sore loser. It's insane. Like, you really have nothing better to do with your time? Another person said, hey Gaines, how about we don't be transphobic? Then maybe you can focus on your athletic abilities and place higher. Yeah. And that's it. That is our wonderful episode. What are you doing?
I just saw something that I was like, wait, what the fuck is that? It's fine. I'll read it later. Well, what another good episode on the books. We're almost at 150.
Nice.
That's kind of crazy.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling even better that I get to cross off another thing from my 2025 predictions list.
In addition to what happened yesterday?
I get to cross off... No. That's what I meant. Was what happened yesterday, Beyonce Miley. But now I also get to cross off Chris Pratt doing something stupid. Because when that man died who was on... was he on Parks and Rec, Chris Pratt?
Mm-hmm.
One of the shows Chris Pratt was on that I didn't watch. And he
Parks
literally...
and Rec is such a good fucking show. And I can't believe you haven't watched it.
I should. And he Chris Pratt posted being like, damn, dude, rip. Like, what? Like, he literally, it was like the weirdest fucking way to be like, no, this is like an actual real person who died. And like, why post anything if you're going to be like, damn, man, rip. Huh? So I can cross that off too. And I get to cross off that Rihanna had a Bluey cameo because it's not that, it was the Smurfs, which is also Blue cartoons. No, I know, but I'm just reading it everything right now. Oh, and Dave Portnoy I can cross off. Okay, good stuff. Oh. And Ryan Murphy's next project, which is the Kennedy thing, and people are tearing it apart already. And who would have known?
Everyone that has ever watched anything that he does.
I know. I was going to say the other part, the unspoken part about that project. I auditioned for it.
Oh. I don't think you told me that.
I think I did, because I think I told you that there's no way I was going to get it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening. We thoroughly enjoyed this lovely Tuesday. Join us tomorrow for a special edition of, it's not even a special edition. We usually don't have episodes on Wednesday, but it is the update that includes the actual peanut butter story. People have been asking, where is it? Here it comes, disgustingly. Thursday, we've got a new episode of Don't Blame Me. You want to listen to that one too, because the co-sucker is back. Friday, we've got a rousing episode of Fisting Friday. And Monday, tune in for But Am I Wrong? And then we will see you next Tuesday.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Hey, it's Hillary Frank from The Longest Shortest Time, an award-winning podcast about parenthood and reproductive health. There is so much going on right now in the world of reproductive health, and we're covering it all. Birth control, pregnancy, gender, bodily autonomy, menopause, consent, sperm, so many stories about sperm, and of course the joys and absurdities of raising kids of all ages. If you're new to the show, check out an episode called The Staircase. It's a personal story of mine about trying to get my kids' school to teach sex ed. Spoiler, I get it to happen, but not at all in the way that I wanted. We also talk to plenty of non-parents, so you don't have to be a parent to listen. If you like surprising, funny, poignant stories about human relationships and, periods, The Longest Shortest Time is for you. Find us in any podcast app or at longestshortesttime.com.
Are you looking for a movie review show where the critic is at the top of his or her game, meticulously breaking down and explaining exactly why a film does or does not work? Well, good luck with the search, because we're having fun here on Adam Does Movies. I talk to you like we just got done seeing a movie together, giving you the pros and cons, and I'm digging in the trenches, in the mud and muck, on streaming services, telling you which films are worth your time. Each and every week, I hit the big blockbusters, I cover the streamers, and I even toss in some movie news for fun. Because this show is Adam Does Movies. I'm obviously Adam, I probably should have led with that, but perhaps I have led you to check out the show on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and hopefully we can do movies together. Hot.
Oh, hey there, it's a promo for a podcast. Great! Exactly what you want to hear when you're settling down to listen to the podcast you actually want to listen to. Well, give me just a few seconds and then you can go listen to whatever it is you're listening to, your true crime podcast hosted by former child actors or reality stars, whatever it is. My name is Troy LaValle and I'm the host of the Glass Cannon Podcast. This is a podcast where my friends and I sit around and play role-playing games and record it. Through improvisation, using comedy and drama, we take the rules of whatever game we're playing, and we turn it into appointment television. That's the best way I can explain it. It truly is infectious fun. We travel the whole country playing rock clubs, turning games like this into a spectator sport. So please, check it out, the Glass Cannon Podcast. If you want some joy in your life, give it a listen.